Good evening, children of the Most High. My name is Chukwemeka with the Igbo Hebrews. Brothers and sisters, happy new moon. Today, the 4th of November, is actually the first day of the full moon of the 8th month from here in Nigeria. So it's the new moon of the 8th month, and that is the day that was celebrated by me and my family. And I do hope brothers and sisters who follow the teachings we have or who try to return to the worship of the Most High of the children of Jacob, I do hope you are observing this feast because this is one of the statutes of the Most High that we must observe. And it's not enough to just listen to the teaching. It's not enough to say that we are the true Hebrews, we are the chosen people. If you don't make the effort to return to the biblical ways of our ancestors, all this thing is just a waste. And it's even more wasteful for you because you know what to do. However, brothers and sisters, today I want to talk about the recent Feast of All Saints that was celebrated by the pagans, the Catholic people, which is in conjunction with the Halloween feast that is usually celebrated by pagans in the Western countries. You see, I used to be a Catholic, as you all know, and I still have some friends and relatives that are Catholic. And in the back of their mind, they are hoping that one day I'll still come back to the faith, which is never going to happen. And I know from the bottom of my heart that one day they will walk out of that abomination. But some of my friends, and I know, brothers and sisters, I know that some people don't like me doing video to bash Christianity. In fact, I do know that people, based on the comments they have left and the emails I have received, they don't like me even having any opinion. They just want me to do videos based on my research that the Igbos are the children of Jacob, and that's what I should just shut up and say only the things they want to hear. Unfortunately, children of the Most High, that's not the way this works, to be honest with you. It doesn't work that way. This is a ministry, okay? I'm not here to be your mouthpiece. I'm not here to say what you want to hear. I have expressed my opinion in my videos and I've expressed them well. When I said that Igbos were the only children of Jacob, a lot of people hated me for that, but I still said it. When I also made videos about Nnamdi Kanu and the fake calls for Biafra, which is basically another northern operation on Igbo land. A lot of Igbos hated me for that, but I'm still here. I'm going to express the message that the Most High sent me to his people. If you don't like it, that is your problem. It's not mine. You don't have to listen to it. That's just the truth. So I'm not here to say the things you want to hear and to stay mute on the things you don't want to hear. No, that's not the way this works. Okay. So Christianity, and especially look, I understand that in theory, Christianity seems like a perfect religion. That's in theory. There's a big difference between theory and practical. In practicality, Christianity is not good. And anybody who knows anything can see that. I used to be a Christian. I used to be a better Christian than most of the people that come here to even attack me. I used to be a much better Christian than them because I asked questions and I did research on things. Okay. And I defended Christianity on a number of occasions. But I have realized that this is deception and I'm going to express it. If you don't like it, please move somewhere else. There are so many Christian channels on YouTube you can visit. Okay, so that's just, I just want to lay that out, let people be aware of that. But I want to do a video on this All Saints Day because some of my friends, I do have a lot of friends that are Catholic. In fact, I have a lot of friends that are Catholic priests. So some of them send me this image and said happy um, All Saints Day. Now, this is where children of God miss the mark. We need to understand the impact of imagery. Take a look at this picture they sent of the pictures of some saints. Saints, as you all know, are people that are supposed to be in heaven. And they believe, the Catholic Church believes that the church in heaven are praying for the church on earth and for the church in purgatory as well. All these things are just ridiculous, but I'm not going to go into that. The thing is, saints are people who are supposed to be in heaven. Now, take a look at this picture. What is wrong here? These are all white people. Are you telling me that there are no black people in heaven? Brothers and sisters, I know there are some black saints that have been done by the church after so much resistance. There are some like Saint Kizito, I think some people in Uganda that were made saints. But that's just about it. Are you telling me that there is no one in Africa that deserves to be in heaven? You see, we need to understand the impact of imagery. The things you see, not the things you hear. The things you see, they influence the way you behave, the way you react to external stimuli, the way you think. The things you see, they influence it. And that's why they put up this image, these images of themselves for you, because they want you to continuously worship them. That's what it is. Brothers and sisters, I know that people say, especially when I was in the Catholic Church, we used to say that we do not worship the saints. We pray through the saints. We don't even pray to them. We pray through them to God. That is just stupid, to be honest with you, because believe me, in the Catholic Church, we used to say we don't worship the saints. We venerate the saints. Brothers and sisters, veneration and worship, they are synonyms. They are the same thing. Whether you are doing adoration or veneration or worship, they are the same thing. Okay, so let's not kid ourselves here. We're worshiping the saints. But the reason they put these people here is because they want you to worship their image, the things that look like them and not the things that look like you. Brothers and sisters, that's why the Bible tells us in the book of First Maccabees, chapter 3, verse 48, that the heathen were looking to change the imagery of the book of the law, and they have done that. And today, brothers and sisters, if you go all over Igbo land, if you go all over Africa, there are people kneeling down in front of these images of the heathen, of white people, and praying to them. There's something that they call the litany of the Blessed Virgin Mary, where every day you recite, you are standing in front of a picture of a white woman and talking about how pure she is, how chaste, mother most pure, mother most chaste, mother most gracious. These are things they call to a white woman. First of all, Mary in the Bible is not a virgin, she gave birth. Second of all, Mary in the Bible is not white. Mary in the New Testament Bible is not white because she is a Hebrew, and Hebrews are not white. And the people who gave you this image, they know that. They know it clearly. The book of Acts of the Apostles, chapter 13, verse 1, made it very clear that a Hebrew who went to Europe was called a nigger. So Hebrews marry among themselves, they don't marry outside. And Mary was a Hebrew. Mary in the Bible was a Hebrew. So she is black. She is not white. But they give you a picture of a white woman to be worshipping. And tomorrow we wonder why our daughters are bleaching their skin to look like white people. We wonder why our young girls are bleaching their skin, changing their hairstyle, doing everything they can to look like white people, going from the black, normal, natural skin to this hybrid, non-natural skin of white people. We wonder why that happens. We wonder why in Igbo land today, most girls feel that they have to bleach their skin to get married. Igbo boys, young Igbo boys, mostly marry light-skinned women. We wonder why. Igbos are literally, as I speak to you, they are literally marrying themselves out of being black. The majority of girls that are getting married in Igbo land are people that are light-skinned. And so it puts pressure on our younger girls to lighten their skin in order to find a suitor. And we wonder why this is going on. We wonder why our children will leave this country, go abroad, and even to the detriment of their life, they will do everything to get a white wife. We wonder why. Because we spend every day worshiping these demons in front of our children, making it look like these are the people that we should look up to, and our children try to be like them and we blame them for it. We need to understand the implication of the things we do and how it affects our children. We need to understand how it affects not only our children but on our own psychology as well. We need to understand that. Brothers and sisters, let us go through some of the saints. You see, in 50 years ago, 100 years ago, when Christianity took a stronghold in our communities, they can come here with all kinds of lies about the saints. Our fathers did not know any better. They didn't have access to information. So they will believe them. But today we have access to information. We know, brothers and sisters, we know. We can look up the history of some of these saints and see that these people are just liars. Why are we not doing that? Let's go through some of the saints here today and see why these saints are, how these saints are made, what are their history, what's making them so good. But anyway, if look, in those days, right, when our parents had no access to information, they can believe all these lies that were told by the Catholic Church. Not only the Catholic Church, other churches, the Anglican Church and other churches, they did the same thing about some holy people. Today, there are books available, there's internet available. You can read about these people that they make sense. And you begin to wonder, who are these people? So most of them are criminals, to be honest with you. There is one person called Saint Olga, who she accused one particular village, Saint Olga in Russia. She accused a particular village of killing her husband. And she and her armies went and wiped out that village, men, women, and children, everybody. And today she's the saint. There is a saint that some of these saints that claim that they don't eat any food. One is Saint Veronica Giuliani. They claim she does not eat any food, that she can fast for a month or be for 3 months or whatever. What has that got to do? That's just anorexia. But unfortunately, but to be honest with you, they found food in her closet, and when they found the food in her closet, she said it's the devil that put it there to tempt her. How convenient! The devil will carry a caram bread and put it in your bed to tempt you. These are the kind of people that are made saints, and these are the kind of people we are worshiping. I have told in one of my videos, I've talked about Saint Christopher, who actually did not exist. The story of Saint Christopher is that he carries children, he carries people, he is a tall giant, he carries people across the water. And then one day he was carrying a child, a young boy, and the child kept getting heavy and heavy, and the child turns out to be infant Jesus. Okay, first of all, there's no such thing as infant Jesus. That's just stupid. But the story of Saint Christopher is a made-up story. Saint Christopher, the person you call Saint Christopher, is a story about the Roman god Hermes, who is known to carry people, according to the Roman legend, to carries people across different dimensions, from the land of the living to the land of the dead, from the land of the dead to the land of the living. That's what he does. That's what they brought up as Saint Christopher. He did not exist. Even the Catholic Church has dropped his name from the list of saints. He did not exist as a person. But today people are still praying to Saint Christopher, and they say they are not worshipping the saint. Saint Philomena, the same thing. She did not exist. But today people are still praying to Saint Philomena. She did not, even the Catholic Church has dropped her name. The person never really existed. There's one that is actually very funny, Saint Simon Stylite. That's his name. Why is he a saint? He became a saint because he stood on a pillar to get away from crowds that were coming to him. He stood on a pillar for 20 years. Children will bring food by climbing that pillar and giving food and supplies and everything. And that's where he stood on the pillar for 20 years. What has someone not eaten, brothers and sisters? Someone that goes hungry without eating, someone that stands on a pillar for 20 years, what has that got to do with salvation? What has that got to do with keeping the laws of the Most High? People should open their eyes here. People should see what's going on. What they did not tell you is that this so-called Saint Simon Stylite, he stood on that pillar naked. He was standing on a pillar in Aleppo, Syria. He stood there naked. He's a lunatic. This is somebody that should be taken to a psychiatric hospital. But today he's worshipped as a saint. Look at the three children of Fatima. The story of the three children of Fatima. I think one or two of them are saints now, and the other one, I don't know whether she's dead or not. I don't really care. But the thing is, they say they saw the Virgin Mary. First of all, they say they saw the sun dancing. It rained and then there was cloud that covered everywhere, and all of a sudden they saw the sun dancing. People that were in Fatima said they saw the sun dancing. Okay, brothers and sisters, the sun does not dance. Okay, who is playing the musical instrument for sun to dance? What tune is the sun dancing as on to? What is it dancing to? Number one, there's only one sun in this planet. There are not many suns. So if the sun is dancing, anybody who is seeing the sun should see it dance. How can sun be dancing in Fatima but it won't be dancing somewhere else? There are not many suns. It's just one sun. So if you see the sun dancing in Fatima, people that live in Kwara State should also see it dancing. If they don't see it dancing, then it's not the sun. Then they say they saw the Virgin Mary. Lucia and Jacinta said they saw her. Francisco said he did not see. They say, look. Oh yeah, he said yes, he saw. They say he did not see her because he was kneeling down with one leg. The lies from that story is just mind-boggling. Then what you did not know, brothers and sisters, what you did not know is that the first record these children gave was that the woman they saw looks like a doll. It was so tiny, like a doll. So, but they won't tell you that, of course. They'll just tell you that the Virgin Mary appeared to them and told them, yeah, Virgin Mary will appear to three children in one obscured village in Portugal to tell them about the secrets of the world. Really? Really? What exactly? So of all the people in the world that the Most High will send message to is some three scrawny little kids in Portugal to tell the secrets of the world. And all of a sudden you have people who are claiming that Virgin Mary has appeared to them all over the place. People who, obviously, if you look at them, these people are demonically possessed, and they're claiming that Virgin Mary is appearing to them. Then there is the story of the saints. Is it Saint Francis of Assisi or the Saint Anthony of Padua? One of these people. And when they say he was preaching in one village, I don't know, in France or something, and then everybody was hearing in their language. Different people were hearing the preach in their own language. Really? Somebody will be speaking one language and everybody will hear in their own language. Really? First of all, how can you get people from all of a sudden you get people from different places with different language congregate together in one village in Europe at that time doing what? So people from all over the world will just congregate in that village just to hear him speak. Really? See, the lies about these things is just mind-boggling. There's the story of is it Pedro Pio? Pedro Pio, I don't know if he's a saint now, but they say he's a stigmata, and to be honest with you, there are so many stigmatas. These are people that they say they bury the suffering of Jesus, in that they have their forehead, their hand, and their legs bleed, the bleeding the injury that Jesus supposedly have. Again, that story of crucifixion is just bogus, and anybody who believes it, that's fine. But they say that these saints have this stigmata, they bear the suffering of Christ. For what? The first question is for what? Why are they bearing it? Second, when Pedro Pio died, pictures were taken of him, and there were no injury. So where's the blood coming from? There was no pictures were taken of his legs, of his hand, and there was no hole, no injury, no patch, nothing. So what are these people doing? This is just magic. What has blood coming out of your leg or your arm? What has that got to do with you being holy, keeping the laws of the Most High like He commanded? Do you see how they are moving your attention, brothers and sisters? They are just hypnotizing you. They are moving your attention from keeping the laws of your fathers, from doing what the scriptures say that you should keep the laws that was given to your ancestors. They are shifting your attention from that into something that's totally irrelevant, like blood flowing from somebody's leg. What has that got to do? What has that got to do with salvation? What has that got to do with keeping the laws of the Messiah? What has that got to do with redemption for your nation? So, children of God, the reason they make sense is not because of your kindness or goodness or keeping the laws of the Most High. It's because of miracles. Like I said, they are shifting the post. They are shifting it from keeping the laws of the Most High to miracles. And like I said, I know people like miracles. People like something that unexpected to happen to them. It's appealing to people. They know this. The devil knows this. That's why he's shifting the biblical expectations. Biblical expectations. He's shifting it from keeping the laws of the Most High to miracle. Remember, the devil can do miracles. The devil does lots of miracles. There are magicians today that can turn water to wine. You can see that there are magicians that do that today. There are magicians that make one fish turn to 1,000 fishes. They do that today. These are demonic activities. These are demonic activities. But you see it and you think it's from God because they have trained you in Christianity to associate that with God. That is why, brothers and sisters, look, I wish I can do a video that will last for an hour, but I can't. The internet connection I have here, it will take me like 1 year to even upload it. But I try to make it as concise as I can. Look, you have to understand when these people are deceiving you, and that's what they are doing in Christianity. That's why I keep telling brothers and sisters, drop that New Testament, don't read it. Leave it until you understand what the Most High wants you to do in the Old Testament, in the scriptures. Before you open it, there's a lot of deception in there. The devil clearly shifted expectations from the children of God from keeping in the Old Testament. You keep the laws of the Most High. When you don't, your nation is destroyed. You're taken captivity. But in the New Testament, your nation does not matter. What they are now telling you is that the miracle is going to come. Miracle, this miracle. That's what they do. Miracle. And nobody is saying that miracle is not good. Miracle is wonderful if the Most High need to do it. But in the Old Testament, what the Most High wants us to do, we have to do the work. We have to put in work. But in the New Testament, they tell you, oh, don't worry, you don't have to do anything. The Most High will just come and do it. That's why today, people are expecting that all of a sudden Christ will just come from the heaven and kill the bad guys and we'll all be partying. We don't have to do anything. This one-man salvation theory is just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. This is what they have shifted your attention. People will sit down, do nothing, and expect something to fall from the sky. There are people who don't learn any trade. They don't go to school. They don't do nothing. They just expect that miracle will happen to them. We should understand how we are letting our communities rot and how it ties down to our religion, the religion we are practicing. We have to understand that. I've talked about the New Testament and how they manipulate, how they change, they use the New Testament to change the Hebrew worship. In the Old Testament, nobody was talking about miracle. Nobody. It's not uncommon for the Most High to do miracles, even in the Old Testament, but the Most High will not go against what He has created and instituted unless it's extremely necessary. For example, when Elijah needed food and there was famine in the nation, that's when the Most High would do miracle. But in the New Testament, everything changed from keeping the laws of God to miracle. People were now expecting miracle from doing nothing. That's how they changed your perspective, your expectation from God. Instead of you keeping the laws of the Most High and letting the Most High preserve your nation, they make you expect miracles from your own, only your own miracle. Not your nation can go to hell, but your miracle should come, and you don't have to work for that miracle. That's how they changed it in the New Testament. The whole New Testament is talking about miracle, undeserved miracle. And today we wonder why our sons are lazy. They can't go and do any work. They will go there and looking for who to defraud in 419. They will go out there and looking for people to steal from. Armed robbery everywhere. You know that armed robbers, they do pray before they go to steal. Because they've not worked. They believe in miracle. They believe that they don't have to do any work and something will just fall on their lap. And we wonder why our children are so lazy. That's because we are teaching them these elements of Christianity that has imbibed in them to look at miracles. Miracle can just come up from nowhere. That's why you have the richest pastors coming from the poorest nation in the world. These criminals who call themselves pastors, all they tell you every weekend is about miracle, and miracle that you don't deserve. And so you go home thinking that you don't have to do anything and money will just fall on your laps. You keep on being poor while they keep on being rich. How long are these people going to deceive us? How long? Brothers and sisters, how long? How long are these people going to deceive us? Look at St. Augustine, the person they call St. Augustine of Hippo. This is somebody that was a womanizer that had illegitimate children that he didn't take care of, going to parties everywhere, having orgies everywhere. And all of a sudden, he became a saint because his mother was praying for him. Like my own mother is not praying for me, Abi. Your own mother is not praying for you. It's his mother's prayer that all of a sudden he'll just become a saint. So the story, it keeps on, the deception is multi-layered actually. You have to peel and peel level the layers of the onions to get to the truth. I wonder why our people in this day and age are still recognizing saints. And look at the funny thing about that. The people in the Bible are not called saints. I'm sure you know that. There's no such thing as Saint Abraham. There's no such thing as Saint Jacob, Saint Judah. Are they saying that this people did not go to heaven? That's how you know that this is not the same religion you're dealing with here. The Hebrews are forefathers in the biblical forefathers in the Bible. They are not recognized as a saint by this institution you're going to today. Why are you going there? It's not the same religion. It's actually not the same. So we every day, almost every part of Igbo land, there are people who sit in front of a white woman they call Blessed Virgin Mary, who is not actually blessed, is not virgin. She gave birth. You don't give birth and remain a virgin. But this is the kind of stories they bring up. This is the kind of deception. They created that story so that they can put a white woman in front of you and you be worshiping white woman, mother of justice, pure morning star. No, they call her all kinds of names that she's pure. And tomorrow, that's why you see young black boys going out looking for white women, even at their own detriment, because it's been instilled on them that these people are pure. Meanwhile, these people are not pure. They are morally degraded individuals. With all due respect to any one of them. With all due respect. But this is the kind of thing that our young girls will now begin to see their own skin as inferior, and as a result, they'll be bleaching their skin to look like these people. And we wonder why they do this. When you sit your children in front of your house every day to worship an entity that does not look like their ancestors, and you wonder why they don't respect their ancestors. It's just really sad, to be honest with you. But I'm very hopeful that we live in an age where people are realizing the truth, and people are going to realize this thing. Look, there are so many criminal saints, there's so many criminals, even prostitutes that have been made saints, even people that I know that really prostitutes that have been made saints, and they will make you to worship them. Meanwhile, your father who spent his time working in the farm to see you through school, to see you through life, to save you from all kind of danger, you are not supposed to worship. It's somebody that has been a criminal, a womanizer, having illegitimate babies, killing people, poisoning people. These are the person you are worshiping because the church called them saints. Brothers and sisters, this is really sad. It's really, really sad. I don't know why people are not seeing it. By the way, do you think it's a coincidence that the church celebrates All Saints Day almost the same day that the pagans celebrate Halloween? Actually, the All Saints Day is the real name for it is All Hallows. It's just a pagan feast. It's Halloween. So you might as well just go and join them and celebrate the dead. Because that's what they do. On November 1, they celebrate All Saints Day. November 2, they celebrate All Souls, the way they go to pray in graveyards. You're just celebrating the dead. This is a demonic thing you're doing, saying you're worshiping God. Where in the Bible were you told to do that, for heaven's sake? This is what do you call it? Is it necromancy? This is necromancy. That's what you're doing. Well, we will keep hammering it. I do hope that one day the children of the Most High will realize this. And I'm very happy that people are realizing this thing. You see, when I tell people not to read the New Testament until they understand the Old Testament and practice the Old Testament, I'm not joking about it. Because in the New Testament, it's been craftily designed for you to turn your attention from keeping the laws and commandments of the Most High. For you, they turn your attention from that into you expecting miracle for doing nothing. That's how they craftily designed this. Instead of you keeping the laws and commandments of the Most High so that the Most High will preserve your nation, they turn your attention from that into you expecting the Most High to do something for you as a person, but your nation can go to hell. So if something good happens to you, it's from God. But if your nation gets destroyed, you don't care. And that's why Igbo land is destroyed today. Our politicians are taking money away to America, to Canada, because they don't care. They've gotten their miracle. They don't care about our nation. That is why people will be starving in Imo State, and the idiot they call a governor will be building a life-size statue of another president from another country. That's why it's because of Christianity we expect. This is the kind of thing when you teach people to expect miracle for themselves. For you to be a Christian, you have to be extremely selfish because your leaders are extremely selfish. That's how you progress. You don't care about your nation, you care about yourself. You don't care about your people being destroyed. It's only about yourself. Brothers and sisters, this is a demonic religion. In fact, to be honest with you, any religion that teaches something like this is from the devil itself. We have to see it that way. I don't care whatever miracle you think is coming to you from Jesus. Just in case you don't know, the devil can do miracles as well. Anyway, I have said it, and you've heard it. I may the Most High bless you. So now,